So if you've seen my previous video, you know that I'm back on Crete again. What can I say? I love coming here. It's like my second home. And in this video, kind of prove a point. I want to show you guys why I love coming back here. So I'm going to show you everything I love about this island and kind of making a case and a point on why I keep going back. So yeah, should be nice. Enjoy.
I do have a long history with Crete and Greece in general. I grew up among Greek people as a kid, which is a whole different story I'll make a separate video about one day. We traveled to Greece almost every single year back then, till my parents divorced. But as soon as I turned 18, I got the chance to go back, and Crete was the first place I visited. Again. And ever since, I've been coming back. First every few years, then almost yearly, and the last few years even twice a year. And still, every single time I have to leave the island, it feels like it is too soon. I love revisiting familiar places for different reasons. In Spili, a small village in the mountains, it's the fresh mountain water where I fill up my bottle. In Madla, there's a specific restaurant with an amazing view, and they make a kick-ass omelet that my girlfriend Hilda loves a lot. However, during every single visit, I also managed to discover some new places, spots where I've never been, and that blow me away because of it being a cozy village, a stunning view, or maybe a historical remnant that tells hundreds of years of history. Look, Crete is about as big as Belgium. Kinda. And it has a very diverse landscape, ranging from the snowy mountaintops to olive orchards, fields filled with watermelons, stunning beaches, dry hilltops, and the lush and green valleys in the northeast of the island. It is packed with small villages, some only housing maybe 2 to 3 families. There's the bigger towns and even a few cities.
Right back there is Crete, one of the few cities they have on the island. Like the biggest 3 of them are Iraklio, which is the capital of the island. Then you have Crete and Chania, which is all the way to the west. Just having those mountains in the back with a tiny bit of snow still on there because it's May. That is something I don't get in Belgium.
And in between those villages, towns and cities, there is nature. Sometimes cultivated into an orchard or maybe some agriculture. Other times commercialized for all kinds of intents, like the many beaches or gorges. There are churches, so many churches in all sizes. And sometimes in the most unbelievable places, carved into a rock, at the bottom of 300 stairs, or on top of a high snowy mountain, where peace and quiet is the most valuable thing you'll find.
This little place that I'm at right now, this is one of my favorite spots on the whole island. I discovered this a few years ago. It is on the road to some abandoned beach or a faraway beach. Kalini Menez, I filmed there before. Where you basically look out over the whole valley. And it brings me so much peace just to stand here and just imagine the decades and the centuries of evolution and life that happened in this valley. And what that might look like in the future. It kind of gives me some perspective. Because always, especially now in this phase of my life, I'm very focused on what is happening now and what the near future holds, but can you imagine what this looked like during the Second World War or 300 years ago, 3,000 years ago?
Proof of that rich history can be found everywhere on the island, in the museums, the small villages, but most importantly in some of the most iconic archaeological dig sites Europe has to offer. Most of you might have heard about Knossos, the Minoan Palace. But it was actually in Festus, a different palace, that the famous disc was found. And there are the smaller palaces like Agia Triada. There are Minoan graveyards. And from a few hundred years later there is Cortis, the Roman capital for Crete, which comes with its whole different story and houses the first cathedral on the island. If we fast forward even further, there's the monastery of Priveli, which played a huge role in the resistance during the World War. And these are just a few examples of the countless remnants of thousands of years of history and occupation. It is a historic treasure chest. And when you're done discovering all of them, there's plenty of places to have a great meal. Greece is a nation of cooks. Cooks that make amazing food. There's also pubs, cafes, there's clubs. We can get a drink, a local drink, or maybe a not-so-local beverage. And you get to meet the local population. A unique and stubborn people that take a lot of pride into making their guests happy. That will eagerly share all of their stories and listen intensely to everything you have to say. In a way that will kindle a friendship that will last forever with the people and with the island itself. That, my friends, is Crete. My sanctuary.
And then comes the day that you have to go back home. Which always sucks, no matter if I'm here for a week, 2 weeks, even longer. Especially now, kind of sucks. If you've seen my previous video, you kind of understand why. For the first time in many years, my future at home is kind of very undecided and uncertain. So I'll have to deal with that when I get back home. But it's going to be okay. I'm more determined than ever to make it work. That being said, after that week of just relaxing, I have to face Irakli Airport, which is a completely different story. I'll show you at the end of the video, but I'm not complaining. The moment itself just sucks, but that's like 2 hours of suffering for days of bliss. So, in any case, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.